Songalia of Stem 12 St. Phoebe, and I have one question. Do you have any idea about what cell organelles are? You may or may not, but let me show you something that will help you be familiar about them. Here, I made this all say to myself, and I call it the Cocoa and the Chocolate Factory. In this factory, we have all the cell organelles that exist in animals, in plants, and in both. First off, we have the nucleus, represented by Mr. Willy Wonkie right here. He may look a little bit mean, but trust me, he is the man of this factory. And just like the nucleus, he is the one who controls all of the activities that takes place in it. In addition to that, his mighty hat is where a cell's hereditary DNA is stored. Please also take note that Mr. Willy Wonkie only exists in eukaryotic cells, such as animals, plants, fungi, and etc. Next up is what I call the Cocoart, which has an obvious job, a literal cart. It represents the endoplasmic reticulum, which transports materials needed by the cell. Yes, TRANSPORTS. And no, it has two types. First up is the sleek Cocoart, or the smooth endoplasmic reticulum in cells that are smooth because of the absence of ribosomes, and it is in charge of metabolism. On the other hand, the Bumpy Cocoart, or the rough endoplasmic reticulum in cells, has a rough build as ribosomes are attached to it, and is in charge for the production of glycoproteins. And if we zoom in here, we can find the cell source of proteins, the ribosomes. In the factory, we call it the cacao tree, as it is responsible and is the place for the production of cacao beans or proteins in the cell. Moving on, this one is the factory's wrapping station, and it represents the cell's Golgi bodies. It collects materials from the Bumpy Cocoart, which are proteins and fats in cells, and wraps them to be handed out to other areas of the factory. Here we have the vacuole, or the recycling and trash zone in this factory. What it does is it stores essential ingredients while disposing of the expired ones or the harmful waste in the cell. Oh look, there's an ant. I owe you one for that, Mr. Oompa Loompa. I'm sorry for the interruption, but let me introduce to you the factory's fiercely protective Oompa Loompas, or the cell's lysosomes. They may look very random, but they have digestive enzymes that are buff enough to eliminate intruders in this factory, like that, or the foreign substances that may enter the cell. Take note that they only live in animal cells. Nothing more, nothing less. Just animal cells. Up to the next one, we have the factory's source of power, Terry the battery. It is the cell's mitochondria, the powerhouse of the cell. But why was it the powerhouse of the cell? Well, the reason is because it is the location of cellular perspiration where it turns food molecules into energy, or ATP, and later on be provided to help in growth and reproduction. Oh look, it's Bine the winter Turbine. They only exist in plants, and they are the cell's chloroplasts. Wind turbines collects energy from the air, while Chloroplast uses the sun for solar energy. Both of them makes use of their surroundings and use it for the production of energy. The reason why it is green is because it contains green chlorophyll pigments that are involved with the process of photosynthesis with the help of sunlight. It is also the organelle that makes a plant be able to sustain itself, as chloroplasts manufacture food for their entire plant. Next up is our chocolatey flooring. It's actually the cytoplasm of a cell. It encases the factory and gives it a fluid nature. It is found inside the next part, which is the tinfoil wrapper, which represents the cell membrane of a cell. It encloses the factory and visually inspects the materials that goes in and out of the factory. It also allows the factory to change its shape. Fun, right? In plants, fungi, bacteria, and other protozoans, they have an additional barrier aside from the cell membrane. In this factory, we have the Choco box, which serves as a separate layer to provide more support and protection. And that's all of it. I hope you enjoyed our talk, and I hope that I made the cell organelles much easier for you to understand. This has been Shaina of Stem 12 St. Phoebe. Thank you for listening. Bye.